What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over Blackbox and how much money I make selling stock footage. So for those of you that don't know, if you're new to the channel, Blackbox is a service where you can sell your footage, and it's kind of a distribution service to all of the stock agencies. So instead of me uploading all my footage to all these different stock sites, doing SEO, metadata, all that stuff a bunch of different times, I just put it on Blackbox with a curator, and then once it's up, Blackbox, I think it distributes to 5 of the big stock agencies. I'll put those right here. So in this video today, I'm gonna go over how much money I've made on Blackbox in total, and then also monthly, on average, kind of the increase in my sales, and what clips of mine are selling the most. So instead of making you guys wait for however long this video may be to tell you guys how much money I've been making with Blackbox, I'm just gonna come out and say it because I hate watching like 20-minute long YouTube videos where they wait until like the 19th minute to show you. So I am just under the cusp of breaking $2,000 in Blackbox sales. I made my first sale in August 2019 and now it's May 2020. So it's been 10 months and I have made $1,950.09. So this averages about $195 a month on the 10-month average. But my first few months I didn't really make that much money, and it's kind of been on an upward curve the entire time. So it started off small, then it's grown a little bit in each month. Alright, so I'm just gonna dive into my computer screen. As you can see, in August I made $58.32, September $17.14, and then just upward from there. My peak month was March 2020 where I made just over $340. And I have a theory that if it wasn't for coronavirus, these sales would have continued going upward based on just kind of how Blackbox works and the SEO search for stock footage. However, I do think since the travel industry is hurting so much right now that my Blackbox sales are also taking a toll because 90% of my footage is travel footage. But nonetheless, I was honestly expecting for a few months of zero or almost next to nothing as far as money goes from Blackbox. So it was actually really nice because in April I made $266. May, we're not even through the whole month. We're 2/3 through the month and I've already made $177. So it's really awesome to have this money coming in throughout this time. So for reference, I started uploading Blackbox around June 2019. And then my first sale was in August. I was told when I started Blackbox that I shouldn't expect a sale for like the first 4 or 5 months. And that's mainly because when you upload to Blackbox and they upload to the agencies, it takes a few months for your clips and their SEO to kind of get higher and higher ranked on the page to where they start making sales. But I kind of started off the bat pretty strong, just uploading tons and tons of clips. I've been traveling for, I think 4 or 5 years, pretty much full time. So I've got tons of clips and I just started uploading like a madman. So I'm gonna dive into my clips, kind of give you guys an idea of what kind of clips I'm uploading more in detail, and then we'll go into what kind of clips are actually selling. The other day I just broke 5,000 clips uploaded, and that is unbelievable. But that's a mixture of the last 10 months shooting, uploading nonstop, and then also mining about 6 old hard drives that are just filled with footage. So all of that came to, I guess, about 5,000 clips, most of which is drone footage. I'd say about 75% of my footage and clips on Blackbox is drone footage, maybe 15% for time lapses, and then maybe 5% for my Sony clips, like Sony 4K, just filmed on a tripod or slider. And then the remaining 5% probably like GoPro, DJI Osmo, and kind of just a mixture of that stuff. And I think I've even uploaded a few phone clips. So just going through the first screen right here of clips, my most recent big trip was to the Bahamas for a spring break job. So you can see, I've got a lot of stuff from the Bahamas, some resort stuff, some ocean stuff. Here's a clip from Patagonia that I filmed. I'll just go through a few pages so you guys can see the kind of clips I'm putting up. More Bahamas. Here's one from the Philippines. I mined an old hard drive from El Nido. Here's I'm not sure actually what this was, but I was filming in the Bahamas and there was a big cloud of smoke, so something was burning, I'm not sure what, but stuff like that sells really, really well because with so much going on in our world right now with climate change, a lot of devastations, a lot of natural disasters, this type of footage is kind of fitting for like news stations and media to cover this type of stuff. So this stuff actually does sell quite well. Go to the third page. Alright, so we got more Bahamas stuff. Here's some stuff from Chile and Argentina from when we were doing the van life. I'll just skip ahead to like page 10 so you guys can maybe see something other than Bahamas. Lots of Bahamas, we'll skip. We'll just hit the last page. So these are my first clips ever uploaded. So these are all from the French Alps because I started Blackbox while on a trip with my buddies Danny and Mike in Europe. I just put up on Blackbox what I was filming at the time. I didn't really start mining my hard drives until a few months after on Blackbox. My buddy Danny started Blackbox I think like 8 to 10 months before me. He doesn't have as many clips as I do live, but because his clips have been up for like an extra 8 to 10 months, his stuff is ranked really high in the SEO, and he's had months where he makes $500-$600. Time on Blackbox does definitely equate to more money as long as you're uploading quality stuff. Do one page before this, you guys can see a full 10. So I've just got a bunch of clips from Florence, Italy, of the Duomo Cathedral, and just town itself. So yeah, the extent of my footage is a lot of travel, a lot of cities across the world, a lot of countrysides around the world, a lot of natural landscapes, stuff like Utah, Iceland, Argentina, stuff like that. A lot of mountain footage. Some places where I have some crazy epic scenery, I'll just have a person, you know, kind of walk forward, just to put a subject in the scale of the scenery, and stuff like that sells really well. As far as my time lapses go, it's kind of the same thing, just time lapses from around the world that I've taken. I have a few hyperlapses up, but there is a minimum clip length of 5 seconds. And for many years while I was shooting hyperlapses, I was just shooting them long enough to be like 3 seconds, just to be enough in like a cinematic video. I wasn't really thinking about Blackbox at the time, but since then, you know, I'll shoot enough so I have at least 5-6 seconds for the hyperlapse. All right, so let's jump into some of my clips that have sold so you guys can see kind of a portion, what I make per clip on average, because it definitely does fluctuate based on the clip and what quality it's bought at, and just so you guys can kind of see what has sold for me. We're gonna come into total earnings report. And I guess this is just covering the last 2 months, but it's showing 1 to 10 of 35. So this shows the clip title, how many times it was downloaded, the date it was sold, and my earnings, which is my portion that I get. So I sold something from the Southern Highlands. My earnings were $7. This clip, or this series of clips from South America, I'll play it back so you can see it. I've sold this a lot. It makes sense because what I touched on earlier with climate change, global warming, all that stuff like this does sell really well because it really does enhance the media and news, and it kind of puts a picture to what's actually happening. So this is actually in Argentina. I can't really say if this is actually a result of climate change or global warming. This glacier is known to be a calving glacier, so that just means pretty much chunks of it will kind of chop off and go into the lake that it flows into. I think it's just a natural occurrence, you know, on sunny days it might calve more, so it's hard to say. But we were here for 2 different days, one with my mom and one with Bree, and I just had my Sony up on a tripod, and whenever I'd hear something, I would try to match it, and then I would try to get there fast enough to get a 5-second clip out of it. Here's a Denver night clip I took, and this is actually during the coronavirus outbreak, and it's a single car on a very, very busy street in downtown Denver, so not surprised this sold. And also, I just think it's a really cool clip. Mykonos, I've had a few things sell from there. Another one from Perito Moreno Glacier. Here's one from Kent Island, that's actually here in Maryland. Baltimore, just of I-95 with Baltimore City skyline in the background. Oh, this downtown Denver clip actually sold twice. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And here's actually a cool difference that you guys can see. So if you see this first Denver night clip right here, my payout was $14.42. And on this one, my payout was $27.05. So this could be because it sold from different agencies. I don't actually get to see where it was sold because of Blackbox and permissions and stuff like that. But I'm guessing that the main attribution to the difference in why I made almost double in one of the sales is probably because one clip sold at 1080p quality and one clip sold at 4K quality. So when you upload 4K clips, Blackbox down-reses your clips also to 1080, so users can buy the clip at 4K that I uploaded, or they can download and buy a clip at a downgraded resolution for 1080, and it's a fraction of the price. So that's probably my guess as to why I made so much more on that one. Here's one from the Philippines. Another Mykonos. We'll do one more page. So this was a Sony clip. Most of my stuff that sells is drone or time lapse, but this Sony clip actually sold, which is awesome. It was really windy, so it was really hard to get this clip because I didn't have my tripod. Chamonix in the French Alps. Here's one from Wyoming where I had just Bree kind of walk out for scale. It's a really cool clip. Tokyo. I actually thought I was going to get a lot more sales for my Tokyo clips because I went back in August and I filmed a ton And a lot of it I filmed for stock footage because the Olympics are being held there, but I've only sold a few clips, so maybe that'll happen as it gets closer, but I'm not really sure. Mexico, I've sold a lot of stuff from Mexico, cenotes, Taipei, Puerto Rico, another from the glacier in Argentina. Here's one from Puerto Rico. So I will say most of my stuff that sells isn't as much landscape. Something like this, like Lago Gray, that sold because it's a dynamic environment. It's a notable place, even though it's a landscape. But if I'm out in the deserts of Utah or Argentina or wherever it may be, a lot of places don't really necessarily have a name. And especially if I have like 100 clips from there, it's really cool footage, but it's just hard to name, to put a place on it, especially if it's just like on the side of the road and I throw the drone up. So certain stuff like that I do upload, but I notice it doesn't sell as well as namely notable places or like cities across the world. Stuff like that sells really, really good. And you just have to think from a practical perspective, what is selling? You know what I mean? You have to think, if I was gonna buy footage, probably for marketing for a firm I work for, what am I looking for? And then you kind of just have to backtrace that and try to shoot in accordance to what people would buy, what people would use, and what will help people is kind of just overall brand and marketing. So kind of back to just the money and the earnings, is this a salary? No, by no means is it. I think if I had uploaded this same footage maybe 5-10 years ago, this would probably be making $5,000 to $10,000 at least per month because of the quality of footage, the amount of footage, the diversity of footage that I've uploaded to this. But, you know, as most things do, the market is getting more saturated. So if you're a videographer, I would first highly recommend signing up for this and selling your stock footage. It's a great way to diversify your portfolio. It's a great way to multi-purpose your footage. However, would I rely on it as a notable source of income? Not really. It's enough to, you know, cover my car insurance, my car payment, you know, food for a few weeks, like whatever it may be. So it definitely helps, and it's awesome, and it's really good to diversify everything. But I would just take it with a grain of salt. You know, don't expect to join, upload 100 clips, and make $1,000 a month. That's just not really how it works unless you have incredible, captivating current events type footage. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it provided you some value. I'll include a link in the description if you'd like to sign up for Blackbox. But anyways, till the next video, thank you guys for watching.